And I feel like if you can be close enough to share your body with someone and have that type of oneness, I really think that emotionally should be just as normal. Hey guys, it's me, James, with This Beautiful Crazy Life. Welcome to the channel. What are we talking about here today? We're going to talk about something that I don't usually talk about, and it's in the realms of dating and marriage. And while I not be dating anyone or married, I think I can offer some insight to better help men and women with their relationships. So those who are new, what do we talk about here? You usually talk about Christian theology, politics, media, everything. We do it from a Christian lens. And today we're going to talk about something that I find super important. That is male vulnerability with their partners. Now, I was recently watching a video from a YouTuber by the name of Rebecca. She does like relationship videos and sort of like, I guess, anti-feminist content. I think she, like some people might call her in a manosphere, manosphere. Am I saying that weird? But anyway, she recently reacted to this Reddit post, and in the most YouTube fashion I can, I'm going to react to her reacting to something, but I hope to provide some sort of insight. So first off, let's look at this Reddit post and see what it says. This is titled, "I can feel my sex drive die when my boyfriend vents about his insecurities. Yikes, anyone relate? But I'm struggling with this relationship and attraction." So it sounds like she's 25 and she's 23 and he's 25, and they've been together for 3 years. And my boyfriend likes to vent to me because of his insecurities, his competency, not looks. So I think when she says competency, I think maybe like what he can do, maybe work or school or something. And I have compassion because I have anxiety. A lot of people have anxiety, right? It's pretty common in our culture. It's a big problem. A lot of people are suffering from all types of mental health struggles. But hearing this from him makes me so turned off, like my kids need help. He called me from his work on his lunch break to vent about how stressed he is and how lost he feels. He's new. I get it. But I need him to project confidence. So a good little bit of fake confidence. Sexy. I'm sorry for the multiple posts, but I don't want to talk to anyone about this because I'm embarrassed for him. I don't know if this is salvageable or more submission on my part. I feel so lost. So a couple things in this post here is that you have a male who is describing his vulnerabilities. Now, I don't really know what she means by that, and we don't really know the details in and out of that relationship. There's also a couple things where I'm just a little like, about like, when she says, do I need to have more submission? What do you mean? How do you submit to a boyfriend? If you think of biblical Christian marriage, that's not a thing. There is no mutual submission or there's no headship or any of that because you're not married, and it's not for every woman to submit to just any man. That's not what that word means. And there's a lot there. I don't want to go too deep in theology. That's not biblical submission. And it sounds like they've been around together and still boyfriend and girlfriend, even though they're in their 20s. So it doesn't sound like that's something that she feels maybe like, would she marry him or something? But there's a lot there. And if you actually go through this is kind of off topic, but a little bit on topic. If you go through more of her posts on there, I kind of have this suspicion that this post might not be super real. Just some of the language used in other posts that they make is kind of like, is this the boyfriend pretending to be her? And he's just expressing how like he just feels kind of upset that his girlfriend isn't like helping him with his anxieties and issues. Maybe. So I don't know. But I do think this is an interesting problem because in our culture, we hear a lot of things. We're told that men need to be both vulnerable and strong and independent, but community orientated. We want men to express their feelings, except more than just expressing anger or, things of that nature. And, when women talk about one of the reasons why they may have gotten divorced in a relationship is because of the man not being emotional enough. But on the flip side, I've heard many men, my own personal friends, express when they have been more vulnerable and emotional, it feels like women are losing their respect or that it's not reciprocated the same way. Showing emotion is not either more masculine or feminine. And it's a really bad thing that we keep teaching this thing over and over and over. And so let's see what Rebecca has to say, because what I think the way she responds to it is interesting. And I have some disagreements with the way she responded in this video.
This is a classic case of women don't know what they actually want at all.
So I don't think this is a case of women don't know what they actually want. I think that's such a broad statement there. Is that this particular woman actually does know what she wants, and that she doesn't want a man who shows his emotions, and that she has to be the one to burden that. And I think we have to be very careful when we make these generalizations, because a lot of times we have experience with a certain group of people and then we say this applies to them like every time. And there is some truth in that as well, because me being a man, and dealing with women, I do see similarities in how I react with my male friends or women friends and the interests and things of that nature. But this isn't someone who said, I want a man who's vulnerable or emotional. This lady clearly said, I do not like that. And if I was her boyfriend, I would probably end the relationship.
She created her own issue. Because let's be real here. Men don't share their vulnerabilities like that unless it was prompted by a woman. I'm sorry, like I've never met a guy who was just like, let me share about all of my issues to you and let me vent about these things to you, my girlfriend. I mean, unless the man is very feminine, which could be the case here, I don't know a single guy who shares willingly this way.
I think this is a really interesting point, because what she brings up here is that a lot of men will not bring up that they're feeling a certain way unless they're prompted to. And I don't think that's actually true. I know a lot of masculine men who will go to their friends or their wife or their girlfriend when they're having a hard time or struggling with something. Now, there are some men who still think that that's not really something they want to do or don't feel like it's a very masculine thing. But I don't think that if someone expresses themselves more to people they're close with and trusted people, that that's more feminine. I mean, honestly, I think it's such a cool thing that we have more men being open to their friends and partners and stuff like that. Now, of course, depending on the relationship, you want to have some type of boundaries. You don't want to just express yourself to anybody. That's where a lot of men and women, I think, just mess up in general. That can be a whole nother video. But that is what I advise against. But this is someone that you've been dating for 3 years and you're not comfortable with them, opening up that way. That's probably a bad sign of that relationship. All right, let's do another one, shall we?
For example, my husband works a very strenuous job. I know that he's stressed out and I can see it in his face. He has accountability partners. He has male counselors. He has male mentors that he can conversate with and have these discussions with. He's not bringing his problems onto me and saying, I need you to bear the weight of my issues.
This is interesting to me. There's some things I agreed with her with on there. One, I think men should have other men to help support them. It's good to have mentorships and friends, and a lot of Christians have like accountability buddies or whatever. Is that what they call them now? Accountability buddies? But there should be people in your life just to help you with certain aspects. What I do disagree with her on this, as a man who's never been married, and so maybe someone can tell me if I'm wrong here, but when the Bible describes marriage, it gives this beautiful idea of being one flesh, where the husband leaves his mother and father and cleaves to his wife, is the language used in Genesis. This person's supposed to be like your other person, the person that makes you, better lack of a term, whole. I mean, one flesh, is incredible. And there's so much language used in the Bible about two people becoming one. And that doesn't just mean sexually, but in every aspect around. And I feel like if you can be close enough to share your body with someone and have that type of oneness, I really think that emotionally should be just as normal. Right? Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe you guys are like, no, James, it's not a man's job to lay his burdens on his wife. But your spouse is your closest partner. Tim Keller says that marriage is unlike any other thing in the world and is the most closest relationship you have. And I don't know if that's always been true for humanity, but for this current culture, for the last couple hundred years, that is a fact. And we don't have big extended families anymore. Even sibling relationships and friendships aren't as close as with someone with their spouse. I recently saw a Facebook post that someone made, and maybe if I'll find it, I'll clip it on here, but it said that Only a woman knows really who her man is, not his mom, not his dad, not his boys, not his brother, sister, because I see him through his ups and downs and everything. And that goes the other way around. Like when you're dating someone, if you've ever been in a long-term relationship, you get to see them in every way possible. And when that relationship is healthy, it is a beautiful thing and what we should achieve to do. Maybe that works for their marriage. I'm not here to judge anyone's marriage. It's simply a reaction video. I don't know who Rebecca is. I just seen some of her videos. But for me, I think the ideal is that this should be your closest person that you are helping and supporting and seeking and loving. And there's going to be moments in your partner's life, your husband or wife, when they're not feeling 100%, death of a parent, loss of a job, something tragic happens, and they're going to need you. I'm be honest, I haven't cried in a very long time, but if I do cry, I should be able to cry in front of my wife and not be like, well, I guess I'm turned off now, never want to have sex with this guy again, right? That sounds absolutely terrible. The goal of this channel is to help people, whether it's thinking through theology or doing Bible studies or just talking about cultural events, and also to entertain you guys as well. And if you are seeking some entertainment, check out this video here. It's pretty funny. I'm telling you guys, you will like it. Anyway, make sure to like and subscribe and share this with your friends. Hope you guys have a great day and happy Valentine's Day.